Hello, my name is Maddie Alruna and I am a tarot reader, author and mentor. And today I want to talk to you about yes, no tarot readings. As a tarot reader, I get asked a lot of yes, no readings. Sometimes clients will present a really complex situation and they don't want any understanding. They don't want any empowerment. They just want a binary black, white, yes, no answer. There are lots of ways to structure a yes, no tarot question. And there's lots of formulas out there on the internet for you to play around with. And my best advice is do play around with those formulas because some of them are not as reliable as you may think. There's various ways. I've seen it said that you can do a 3-card reading and it will depend on the number of reversed or upright cards. I'm not prepared. I don't think I'm prepared to take a punt on a professional reading on a sort of almost a gambling formula like that. So I do not read like that. Sometimes people say, yeah, you just shuffle and you pull one card and it depends on that card, that some cards are yes, some cards are no, and some cards are maybe. But I'm a professional tarot reader. I build my business and my brand on being accurate and people coming back to me. So if somebody asks me a yes-no reading, I need to know I'm being as accurate as possible. And the honest answer is there is a lot of space here between yes and no. There's a lot of grey space here that if you're just looking at a clear formula or a one-card spread, you're not exploring. And just because a client is asking for a yes-no reading doesn't mean to say the answer is yes or no. And a huge part of being a tarot professional is to structure the reading and the question well. So almost always, because there's no absolutes in tarot, if a client asks me a yes-no spread, I will formulate the question in my head. Now, let's use an example. The question is, will I sell my house this summer? And then I will use the same spread that I almost always use for the situation, which is 3 cards to represent the past up to the present moment, 3 cards to represent the present moment, and these can be read as advice, and 3 cards to represent the most likely outcome. I will also look at the card at the bottom of the pack. Now, in a yes-no reading, in every reading, I define the card at the bottom of the pack whilst shuffling. In a yes-no reading, I will normally be defining the card at the bottom of the pack as something we don't know about or something outside of the client's awareness or control. Now, instead of having a simple formula for yes-no, I now have a good understanding of the situation, of where it has come from, where it is now, and where it is likely to go. Now it's down to looking for the right cards to fit the question asked. And let's run with the house move, because it's a question I get asked a lot. What I would be looking for me, the most powerful yes in a house moving question is going to be the world. I mean, it literally means successful completion. So, it definitely can mean a strong yes in a house moving question. The other one that I would be expecting to see in either the present or the future is the 10 of Wands. I've had this come up a lot for house moving, including for myself when my husband moved out, because it is somebody literally carrying all their stuff. In the present or future position, we may well be expecting to find any card that represents movement. For example, the 8 of Wands or the 6 of Swords. The 4 of Wands can be a very positive card in a house move situation because it is happy home, happy hearth, and celebration. And the celebration aspect can come with the 3 of Cups as well. So if you're seeing either of those, particularly again in present or future, you can talk about a feeling of celebration. And so we can begin now to piece the cards together. Let's say that the, in the present and future, we had these 3 cards. Now we're getting a narrative. We're getting a feeling that something is moving quite fast. There is a celebration and there is a moving of belongings or objects. House move. Other cards that I would be happy to see in a house move sort of a question. The Page of Cups, I mean, it's not enough on its own, but it can represent an offer coming in or good news. Either of the wish cards, the Star or the 9 of Cups, would be good cards because they're so positive. And this is about somebody wanting to sell their house. So this is about something you want coming to fruition. So the 9 of Cups and the Star would be really positive cards. And in a similar measure, the 3 of Wands would cast. These, I would say, just moving that, these 3 are cards that would sort of shine a positive light on the whole spread, because the 3 of Wands can be seen as success through hard work. So, you've tidied your house, you may well have, painted some of it, you may well have decluttered, and now there is a feeling of, yes, I've done it with the 3 of Wands, this kind of success idea. Other cards that would be very positive would be the Magician, or any of the aces, particularly arguably the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. I realise now that I haven't taken the Ace of Wands out. Excuse that mistake and imagine that we have the Ace of Wands here. The Ace of Wands would be an equally good card. I miscalculated because I wanted the Magician and then counted 4. The Ace of Pentacles could, of course, represent money coming in, whereas the Ace of Swords would represent more the signing of contracts, the legal deal being done. The Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups would be an idea of new beginnings. I'm excited, this feels good. And the Magician, to me, the Magician and the Ace of Pentacles would be the strongest of the aces, if we like, because the Ace of Pentacles is both money coming in and leaving a safe space. And the Magician is, I've got everything I need and this journey starts now. And the Fool, I would see as a positive card in this situation because the Fool is full potential. Now, just because I haven't mentioned a card as being positive doesn't mean it's not positive. I think the idea of reading a yes-no spread with a 9 card and a yes-no question with a 9 card spread is less popular perhaps because it takes more work. There is no simple formula for a yes-no question that will work in every circumstance because life just isn't that simple. We could start with the concept that a lot of questions just don't fit into yes, no. They're somewhere in the maybe, might do, kind of a grey area. The future's not fixed, so sometimes your yes, no question just isn't going to align with the future as it's unfolding. So in almost every situation, because there's always exceptions, if a client asks me a yes, no question, I do my 9 card spread with the card at the bottom of the pack, and I look to read the cards to decide, are the cards saying, yes, this is definitely going to happen? No, this is not going to happen in the time frame that you hope it will. Or as is very, very often, a mixed maybe message of, yes, you're definitely going to sell your house, but not this summer. Yes, you're going to sell your house, but you're not going to get enough money to buy the property that you want. Yes, you're going to sell the house, but the property that you want has fallen through. So that's how I do it, and it works for me. And I'm very, very clear with my clients. The future's not fixed. We are reading to understand the situation. If there is a clear yes, no, I will tell you. But it may well be more of a muddled in the middle, maybe kind of an answer.